So, what risks, if any, have you personally taken for the sake of your craft?
Whew! I mean, all of it, all the chips on the table. I feel like I'm constantly risking, like because it's everything. It's like a financial risk, especially when you're a freelancer. There's freelancing is really interesting because you have times where you have like a ton of money coming in, um, and then times where it's not, or sometimes you're heavily invested. Like I just went through kind of a period. I worked a ton. I, you know, made a nice chunk of money. And then I kind of like took a month off to make my own sketch comedy show that I wanted to do. And then also to make a lot of changes that I needed to make, um, so that I could progress into the new year the way that I wanted to. So, and with acting, it's like you're going to acting class, that costs money. You're getting photos taken, that costs money. You're making a significant investment. And then there's things that you can't, like at this point, kind of to like dovetail with what I was saying earlier, I can't do normal jobs because it would literally put my career in peril the way that I built it. And so, in a way, I mean, I guess I always have to fall back on like, well, I mean, if I really needed to just like, if the world caught on fire and I wanted to just like torch it all up in flames, I could always do some normal job. But um I feel like I'm constantly at risk. And I'm also constantly, just for my own personal growth and so that I don't get bored, I'm constantly trying to make myself uncomfortable. Like
Right.
I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, I'm always uncomfortable. And it's maybe not always. That's not maybe not always, but like I'm pretty uncomfortable because I'm always trying to stretch myself, even in the way that I'm having interpersonal relationships or human interactions. I'm always like um trying to be really vulnerable, trying to be really open with people, trying to like push the envelope, trying changing, like getting to a level where I'm like, oh, I feel comfortable with this level of creativity, and then being like, well, that's boring. Like time to do another challenge and another challenge and another challenge. And that's it's great. It's how you build competence, but it's also really scary. And I don't think it ever gets you get used to it and you're like, oh, I'm familiar with this feeling of being uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
recognize this. I know that it will go away. But I don't think you ever get to a point where you're like, this feels good. You know what I mean? Like it's always like, oh fuck. Like, why am I crying? Oh, that's why,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but it makes sense. It's almost like a cyclical thing. Like you go into something new and you begin the whole point of like where it's kind of dangerous and then it's a little bit less dangerous. And then you kind of get it's like you're kind of in a normal state of operation for a while. And then it's like rocket. And then you're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm plateauing and that's great. But now it's like, okay, well, now I'm bored again. And then
Completely.
it's like so yeah, you never really lose. It's always exciting, but it's also a bit predictable as long as you keep following the same type of momentum.
Completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You start to trust it more. I
Yeah.
think I think less and less you become more you build like a faith and like a trust in yourself of like I've done this before, like I know it's going to be okay. I think I've had enough skin in the game at this point to really have cultivated that trust. And that's nice. I mean, that's a nice thing to be like, no, Elizabeth, like you're going to be okay. Like you can trust yourself. Like you can trust your decision. You've never been wrong.
Totally.
That's what's crazy. Isn't that crazy that like I feel like I've literally never been wrong when I trust myself. But where I fuck up is when I doubt myself and then hold back on my intuition or what I thought I needed to execute because I'm swimming in doubt or because somebody over here was like, "Oh, you should be careful." And then when I buy into that, then I will find myself in shit soup.
Right.
But when I'm like, exactly listen to myself and trust myself in like completely every single time, the results, both like mentally, spiritually, financially, all of it, like, is like fucking the tops. Isn't that interesting? I always find that to be interesting. Like every time it happens, every time I don't trust my intuition, and then I come back around and I'm like, bitch, you knew. Like, Like, you knew before you did XYZ, like, you knew it was gonna happen. It always cracks me up that, like, how much the secret to winning in life is to just completely trust in what you know is right, but how that seems so easy and simple, yet life is so booby trapped
Hmm.
with both with mental barriers, with opinions out here, with negative people who might like flit in and out of your life.
Hmm.
That it's much easier said than done.
True, it is, but it's true, and it kind of almost comes down to the whole decision aspect of things too. Like if you just trust yourself and decide you're gonna make whatever go right, you're gonna make it go right.
Totally,
Yeah,
totally. And if
100%.
you commit to the responsibility of like, I believe in this, I'm willing to put in the work, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, like, and yeah, completely.
Exactly. And this is the kind of shit that I want all the artists to hear because this is what artists need to hear.
Yeah,
It's incredible. It's like you can, if you're willing to do whatever it takes, it is your destiny and you can write it. You just got to do whatever it takes.
you do. You have to commit. I think that that's a big thing. It's like you have to it's almost like a good analogy is acting. Like we were in my acting class last night. We do drills, and I was really loving watching my partners commit completely to what they were doing and how brilliant it was because they were so committed. Because sometimes the combinations of things that we do is like a little bit silly. It's like weird or not necessarily like realistic. And I was like, look at them, they're so fucking committed. This is so amazing. Um, and it's funny because when you watch an actor who's like completely committed to what they're doing. It's such a joy to watch and it's so brilliant. But when they're like, when they feel silly and they don't take it all the way and they're inhibited in their performance, it's like not good. And it's funny how life is the same way. It's like you have to commit and kind of like commit if you realize if you're like, I know this is right and I know that I want to do this and I know that I have the talent and I know that I can make this happen and I'll do whatever it takes. And I'm committed to like going through all the things you're going to go through, going through not being good, going through having to learn more skills, going through like the humbling moments when you're like, oh, like I guess I had some talent over here, but I'm kind of bad at this part. Like if you're willing to go through that, the discomfort, the embarrassment, the like not believing in yourself, the like other people not believing in you, then and you're willing to see it through at the end of the tunnel is greatness.
100%. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. And what's one thing about you that would shock everyone to know?
Uh Nothing.
I'm really curious because you're a pretty open book as it is. I feel like you've told all quite a bit, or people have gotten a lot of you. So I'm very curious what the answer to this is.
Gosh. It is true because I am an open book. It's like most everything everybody knows about me. Um
And if there's
I
no
mean,
answer to the question, you can say that too. It's okay.
no, I guess that like I'm kind of like a hopeless romantic and I love cheesy teen romance movies. Um but even more to that is that I think um sometimes because I mean, I don't know, in podcast environments, podcasts are interesting because people are asking you to talk about yourself and I do like to talk about, like I'm into talking about interesting stuff. But I think that people would be shocked to know that I actually in life can be very quiet, that I get really anxious in new environments. Like if I go to a party and I don't know anybody, it like I'm like horrified. It takes me a minute. Um and I wouldn't I mean, I think I am a very confident person, but I kind of think confidence like inspiration. It's like it's because I practice. It's like I'm confident because I'm competent. Um because I take care of myself and push myself, but I don't know. I think that like a lot of times when you're somebody who's loud and creative and you dress a certain way and you're very expressive, people think that it's just that you walk through life with this sort of like ease that you just woke up with. Um and for me it's more of like it's something that I've cultivated and that I protect and that I continue to cultivate and that if I'm in a situation where I'm not feeling confident, I'm very quick to be like, like, why am I feeling this way? How can I correct it? And then I'll take the actions necessary to correct it. So then when I'm showing up in a space being confident or loud or whatever, it's not because I didn't have all those feelings or I didn't feel shy or embarrassed or less than. It's because I did have all those feelings and then I course corrected and worked it out within myself. So then like when I'm showing up as my best self, it's because, I did the work to do that. But I guess it's like I have all the dark, shitty feelings that everybody has, maybe not. It's very real to me that some people they go through very intense struggles at a very high volume and a very high intensity for very prolonged periods of time. I am also very lucky and I'm very privileged for a myriad of reasons. Having a
Good
loving
word, by the way.
family.
I love
Thank you. Um, and that's certainly not lost on me. But yeah, I think that sometimes people they experience somebody that's showing up in a certain way and they're like, this person could never possibly have like had this thought, or they could have never possibly like been depressed or been anxious or had, like been overwhelmed with anxiety or all of these things. And I'm like, no, I have. Like, you know,
right on.
yeah.
And then what is one thing or one tool that you absolutely cannot live without as an artist and why?
I mean, on the real, for me, it's my spiritual practice,
Nice.
which is Scientology.
Right on.
Um, and and yeah, I think that that's because that's kind of what, and I think that this would apply to anyone, is that no matter what you create, and it's kind of tricky because in a way, like art is also, and creativity is also my spiritual practice. Like in
Sure.
terms of, with Scientology, there's no worship per se. So my sacred sort of like worship of the higher power or whatever would be my, creating art, you could say. Um, but no matter what goals you have and what success you achieve and like what cool things you accomplish and what famous people you work with, um eventually you realize that none of that means anything if you don't have like a strong practice to expand yourself and all areas of your life, family, groups, friends. And so I think that like I really started to discover that as I started to have certain career milestones or be doing really cool things, like, oh, I just like styled this music video that Dolly Parton was in. I didn't Dolly Parton has her own stylist, but I styled some people in the video. Oh, I just styled a Black Keys video. Oh, I just like did this thing. Oh, I just had a video go viral. And all those moments are really fun and exciting, but they don't leave a lasting spiritual impact on you. And so what helps me is when I do the work on myself and then I can like understand myself more, also kind of disentangle myself because earth is hard and life hurts. You get tumbled around. You can't, I don't care how amazing your life is, you can't live on this planet and look around and see all the suffering that happens and be like like if you have a heart at all.
Yeah.
So for me it's really beautiful to have a tool that can help me disentangle myself from the messes that life presents and also like learn about life, and dig into life and then be able to take that information and use it to propel my art and be like, okay, like now I'm refreshed and now I have this message and I'm going to go even harder. And oh my god, I just had this realization. Or ooh, now it's like I got all that like the negative feelings off of me. Or oh, I figured out how to like handle this negative situation. Like now I'm going to go create. So that, and also my friends
Yeah.
and family are like deeply valuable to me. Over this past year, past couple years especially, I've really tuned into community. Um, I was kind of like a lone wolf in the past and was not very good at asking for help. And I've just had like I've really been blessed with having some pretty incredible friends come into my life who just show up as friends in a way that I'd never experienced before. And then it made me be like, "Oh my god, this is what it's like when a friend shows up for you." Um I want to show up for other people in this way. So I've been very much more intentional about making space and time for friends, and to me that's vital too, because again, if you're just like like eventually you get lonely. We all learned that during 2020.
Sure.
We all were like in lockdown with this ability to like create, and eventually we all got lonely. Like,
Oh, it's true. It's so
yeah,
true. And again, I can definitely, I mean, that's really beautiful, everything you just said. Like,
thank
seriously,
you.
that's wow. I'm just sitting here taking that in. What a big answer. That's
Thank
great.
you.
That's like I am improving as a person by listening to this right now. It's
Oh, that's
incredible.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole idea. And I mean, with help too, again, I can really relate to that. And it's, you know, it's like one of those great misunderstood and missing things in life is just the concept of mutual help with even your fellow
Yes.
men. You know, I mean, God, what a fundamental thing, and and just what a misunderstood thing, or
Right.
not trusted something. There's just this weirdness on the subject, but it's so essential.
It's huge. Or like that feeling that like, you don't I didn't want to burden my friends. Like even recently, like I had a lot of friends help me do my sketch comedy special for Christmas.
Mhm.
And like and they just showed up. Like they just came and they helped, and I had one friend shoot like direct three things and edit them all for me just to help. And it was like, "Oh." And I had so many friends also be like, "Hey, like I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. I believe in you. I want to help you." And I was finally able to like understand like, "Oh, this is cool. Like they want to help. Like it's like this is what community is. We help each other." Um and it's okay, and I don't have to. I mean, of course I want to pay everyone, but like, when you're doing personal projects, it's like sometimes you can't, and it's just sometimes you just need to accept the help of your community. And it's huge. And then when I accepted that help, I was like, "Oh my god, like this is such a lesson," and it really elevated my art.
Yeah, 100%. And then, there's always the paid forward later. And it's not like you're not going to do that for other people. It's like it really is a community. And that's the thing, too, is like, I think artists, especially, when they get it wrong, they get hell bent on like this competitive vibe with other artists. And it's like, that's not the game at all, man.
No,
Like, it
no.
is,
Game is
you got to have each other's back. You just got to.
We have to, and it's just like, I don't know, like, like, again, especially this year for me, I've just really come to realize, like, man, if you don't have community and family, like, or chosen family or whatever,
Yeah.
you don't like, what do you have? It's like if a tree falls in the forest, like you could have all these things. There's a really cool podcast um on this podcast called Heavyweight, which I highly recommend. It's by the same guys who did This American Life, and they do an interview with Moby, talking about how at the height of his career, he has a documentary too. The documentary is a little, it's great. It's not my vibe, but I respect it. Um, but this podcast is really great where he just talks about how utterly alone he was at like the height of his career and how he was so sad and lonely. And so it just goes to, and so many artists speak of that. It's like you can be brilliant, you can be famous, you can be a millionaire, you can be successful, but if you're spiritually empty and you don't have community, what do you have?
Well, yeah. And what's the point? It's like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
You can't hug a dollar bill and it ain't going to hug you back, even if you could.
Mhm. And you can't even hug your freaking painting,
No,
I mean, or your sculpture or your film, like that stuff is meaningful to the degree as it's a reflection of and gift to your community, you know?
absolutely. Hell yes. Right on. Okay, cool. I actually have three more questions for you.
Cool.
The first two are fun, and then the last one is the big one. So, if you were going to write a book about your career up to this point, what would you title it?
That crazy bitch.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, good. And then, what are your plans for world domination?
I mean, I'm just gonna do it all, and like continue on the trajectory that I'm doing. I have a lot of projects in the work and short films and films and a show that I'm working on developing. So um yeah, I'm just sort of continuing to do everything that I can to hold myself accountable to my own goals. Also I like to leave a little space for magic. I
Mhm.
realized that this year that I think it's important to like you can have your career and be like, I want it to be this, 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 and this. But I was like, hey, like, I'm going to leave room for magic. Like, I'm going to leave room to like book this series out of nowhere that's like really cool, that like is in alignment with everything, but not like I don't need to micromanage everything that happens. Um, and then I really just want to invest more and more in like becoming really good at all my crafts, like really focusing in on photography, really focusing in, start really hitting directing, writing and directing really heavy this year. And really challenge myself and niche myself into like my creative aesthetic. Which is loud and what did I say? This year is going to be the year of maximalism.
Right on. I like that.
Boz Lerman aesthetic. Let's go.
Totally. Hell yeah. All right. And then last question. And as I said at the beginning of the show, so the show is not only about showcasing artists, it's about exploring what inspires them, what drives them, and what they consider their fundamental purpose as an artist to be. And so, Elizabeth, what's your truth?
I wanna help. I mean, um, it's funny. I wanna like run to my bulletin board and grab it, but it's deeply important to me to inspire others to be their best selves while creating art that is the vehicle. But I think that sometimes it's like the creating of that art, me watching my journey creating the art might be what inspires them. Watching the art might be what inspires them. But I know that I must create art. That's just, I must do it. That's my vehicle. So I just want to inspire people to break out of their own shell, to break their own boundaries. I want to help people feel better and do better. Um, and I really, really, really want to help people understand one another more because I know that I've had a lot of great art in my life that's helped me understand people that I didn't understand and people that I felt negative things about. And then I was able to see art that helped me understand them and not pass judgment in the way that I was before. And so it's really important to me to be able to do that for other people as well.
Amazing. I love that. Oh my God. Well, hey, this has been awesome.
Yay, yeah.
My God, God, your questions were mind blowing. I swear to God. Such a great
Thanks so
perspective
much.
on
Thank
being
you.
an artist. Okay, so before we wrap up, 60 seconds of plugging everything you. What do you want to plug? You got a minute. Go.
What do I want to plug? I don't even know. I mean, just
Social media, website, whatever you want.
my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, everything's there. That's kind of my hub, which is just at Elisabeth, ELISABETH.Donaldson.
Mhm.
Um, I have a lot of very cool projects coming up. Um, but everything's kind of like everything's in this sort of formation stage. So I'm a like be about it, don't talk about it type of gal. So um especially now, like I'm kind of in this like interesting state now where I'm like, okay, but all kinds of things. I'm going to be launching a bunch of stuff on YouTube. But if you go to my Instagram, there's like links to everything, and everything is just my name. So YouTube,
Beautiful.
I might be launching a Patreon only so that I can. The only reason I want to do that is so that I can post my stand-up comedy that's like more not safe for work on there, like because I don't even think that my like comedy is that raunchy or anything, but I get flagged on TikTok and Instagram all the time because I like say the word vagina and stuff like that. So So I just want a space where I can, speak a little more freely. So I'm going to be looking into that, and definitely have a short film coming up, a short film that I'm going to be shooting shortly. Um, like I said, a show that I'm working on. So it's gonna be a hot year.
Hell yeah, it is. Awesome. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much again for being on the show. And to everyone out there
Absolutely.
watching, we will see you on the next one. Peace, y'all.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you follow your own rules and you preach them on to me. But you don't think before you act, and you ain't got no business with me. You don't know. But tell me what's your truth? Oh, what's your truth? Now you got down on